I was just talking about how liars get a lot of the, I guess, deals in both of our industries, whether it's mortgage or real estate. And, I know you guys do a lot with green, sustainable houses. You must also see people trying to push the envelope on what truly is like green. I mean, it's more like, I don't know, yellow, right?
Yeah, mostly the problem is, I think, more due to misinformation than people really lying necessarily. I mean, there's a good deal of that out there too, but it's, as you probably heard, it's not just Energy Star appliances that make it Energy Star. You don't just say something is green built when it's, should
Only
be built
painted green.
And built green is a thing.
Right.
It is an actual program. You get certified.
Right.
I have seen plenty of listings that say they're, built green, maybe even have a star rating on there, but you can't find them on the map. And built green actually has a map. So
I mean, in some ways, there is some gray area in the green building.
Green area.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, though, right? Because there's a million ways that you can make your house a little bit more energy efficient. I mean, whether it's, a new heater, closing your windows. Hey, we keep our windows closed. It's much more energy efficient than with them open. So when you start looking at green real estate in the way that is truly, I guess, there's no way to lie about it. It is the gospel of green. What is green real estate exactly?
There really isn't a gospel necessarily. I mean, there's such a wide spectrum.
It's such a disappointment.
I know. There's
today.
no rule, that makes something either, green or not green or sustainable or not. There's just a wide variance. So kind of everything that you could do, and there's the new construction, right? So obviously you could buy something that's brand new and everything is top of the line, sustainable, certified. But if you're just doing a remodel, there's just choices that you can make as you go along to make it more green or more sustainable.
So what exactly is green real estate?
Exactly is up to interpretation.
Okay, so it really is.
Yeah.
I mean, all across the spectrum.
There's nothing that, necessarily says, okay, the government says this means it's green. There are programs like Built Green and LEED that are, the two biggies. And those
is that how you get on the map, the green map?
That is, yes.
Yeah.
So there's a whole program. There's a checklist you can do to get these various star levels for Built Green anyway. And LEED, they have the certified silver, gold, platinum.
Okay.
I think there's actually another one beyond platinum now too.
The diamond.
Yeah.
I mean, diamonds are better than platinum, right?
Yeah. So
They're not very green. They're more like sparkly. You get a little green in the diamond.
Exactly. Maybe they, manufactured ones. But.
There you go. Yeah, those are probably green. They're safer for the miners too.
Exactly.
That is not weird. I mean, there are no diamond houses, but when you start looking at the green versus sustainable, are those the same? Because or do they overlap?
It's kind of some overlap. I mean, so green is just you can make various choices to make your house more green or to buy a house that is more green.
And that's really like energy efficiency, things of that nature.
And being well built too. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be made of 100% recycled tile to be green.
Or bamboo.
Maybe seal up those leaky windows. You're losing less heat. Use low VOC paint, maybe. And the sustainability factor, so for example, you could do hardwood floors or you could do carpet. Doing hardwood is more green than doing carpet most of the time just because, the air quality.
Unless it's that brilliant, the beautiful Brazilian hardwoods.
Yeah, see there.
Not green, right?
Not real green.
Or
but
sustainable.
Then the sustainability part kind of comes into how it was manufactured or harvested and where it comes from and that sort of thing. So even bamboo, most of us think, well, bamboo, that's pretty green, right? But you got to import it from China, at least most of the time. As far as I know, there's no big bamboo plantations around here. So is it maybe more sustainable to use locally harvested, Forest Council certified hardwood?
And really, so you start having to look at not just the
choices.
Well, and it's not just the material; it's also like how the material gets here.
Exactly.
Right? Shipped here, and now all of a sudden you got a steamboat full of
glue. I've read stuff where bamboo. Some of the glues they use may or may not be good. So it just research.
Yeah, and so how do you? I guess. How do you help people understand what it is they're looking for? Because I would imagine when somebody comes to you, they say, "Yeah, I'd like I'm a earthy person. I want to be green. I drive a Prius. What can I do? Help me find a house that matches my car."
Well, actually, right now we do have some clients that we're working on getting a contract closed in Shoreline, and the house needs a lot of love. And so I was going around with the clients thinking of what are we going to do. And they're doing a renovation loan, so great. They're getting that whole renovation covered. And as part of that, they can make some choices to make things more green. So I started kind of mentioning, well, have you thought about just kind of greening it up a bit as you go? Are you interested in that kind of thing? And they said, yeah, we were thinking of doing, the low VOC paint. Okay, cool. Here's some stores that you might want to check out, local places that have these materials and have a good selection. Here's the Built Green website. You can check that out for more information on, if you want to get it certified as a remodel for resale down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Something to think about. I mean, I'm not going to push it. Obviously, people, are interested in what they're interested, but it's something to think about.
Yeah. So when you start having people who are going down that path of maybe it's a renovation or maybe it's new construction, it always seems that new construction has maybe a little bit more, move-in ready of the, with it's, I guess, really on the map already.
Mm-hmm.
It is like certified. It is like there is no gray area in that build. Is that a fair way of putting it?
Yeah. Actually, and the funny thing is, too, that you may or may not even know that it's certified, because I have also seen a lot of listings where they don't even mention any of the green factors.
Why would they not mention it? Isn't that
because they don't know?
Isn't that sexy? Isn't it sexy to have a green listing?
You'd think, and there actually are some agents in town that I've noticed tend to be really good about the marketing, calling out the green factors. But there are also quite a few where, it's like, this is 4-star built green. Talk about it. What makes it green? And there's no mention of all these really cool things. And a lot of it is going on behind the walls.
So you don't even see it.
Right. I mean, most people aren't going to really know what our value, the insulation is, or what that means. But it's important.
Yeah. Megan Shay joins us with John L. Scott Real Estate. Megan, so when you start looking at homeowners, if they let's say they already live in a house and maybe they want to become more eco-friendly for their own home, maybe it's because they want to sell it, maybe it's just because they want to live there, save money. Is that what do you see as maybe some of the easy steps they can take?
Easy step number one would be to get a home energy audit. And there's even some ways you can do that yourself.
I'll tell you, we hear that
audit.
We hear that a lot.
We
hear a lot about that. The home energy audit through Puget Sound Energy. They're like $100 or something like that.
It's a great deal too, really, because usually, if you called one of those guys to come out to your house and just paid for it, it'd be, a couple $100, $300-400 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And so, they'll go around and they'll do the blower door test and kind of test the pressure and see where the air leaks are. And you might be surprised, really, at some of the leakier places in your house. And it might just be simple as caulking around the window, caulking around your outlets. It doesn't need to be new windows.
I wonder how many people though sit there and they're like, okay, so for $100, I'm going to find out I need to spend $10,000. Yeah. I wonder if there's like that fear factor.
Probably, but it's just a matter of priorities. It's not. They're not going to come into your house and say, well, you need new windows right now.
Yeah, and that would be the window salesman that say that, right? They're not. They don't. We don't let them into our house.
No, put a door sweep under your door and keep out the drafts. There's lots of things you can do that don't have to be expensive.
Made on TV for like $4.99, right? And the door thingies.
Home Depot.
I was up. I got a young kid. I'm up at weird hours watching very strange infomercials. Super fun. This morning I almost bought some little vibrating vacuum thing that goes up and pulls up the dirt. It was awesome. I'm not going to, though. That was at 4 o'clock. Megan, so are there other big benefits, I guess? You talk about the finances, which I think is always a key, a really key item when people go through this. It really can save money over time if you can kind of stomach the upfront costs.
Well, just health and durability also. Indoor air quality is a big one, especially if you've got kids with allergies or you've got allergies. Mm-hmm. And just
it's always the kids, isn't it? Like, what if I have allergies?
But, just having a well-built home really is kind of what it comes down to, because if you have a house that, just kind of slapped together with, not the greatest materials, it's not going to last as long. And, it seems like you would want a house that's really going to last. So putting on a 50-year metal roof is a green choice, right? Sure. It's going to last longer. There's less materials. You're not putting stuff in the dump after, 30 years.
So Megan, when you start looking at all these different items, do they add long-term value then? When you're looking to sell your house, you guys are obviously selling these houses. Do you see an uptick in the value as well as demand?
The latest stats that I read, I think I'm trying to remember, it was somewhere around, well, of course, it depends on who you ask too, but anywhere from 8 to 15%, premium for a greenhouse. But of course, that just depends on, I guess, the market and kind of.
Everything has an 8 to 10%
premium I know.
It's sort of like,
don't quote me on that, but there are people that are looking for that, and or if they're not necessarily looking for it, but you take them into a house that is green, it's kind of like, oh, well, that's cool. So this price is the same as that, that other house.
That
but it's more
windows.
efficient,
right?
And it's better built, and it's going to last longer.
So it sounds like, in a lot of cases, especially in this market, it's almost more of the icing on the cake than the cake itself.
Most people aren't really going out there like, I want a 4-star built greenhouse. Show me what you got.
Right. And the people who are, of course, probably buying new construction because they can just guarantee it, and that's what they want. That would make a lot of sense. Yeah.